So we're going to go ahead and go over the counters you're going to want to use to go up against Entei when we do have that raid day 3-hour period in which you can possibly find a shiny form. Now personally I think this one's going to be looking the best. That's just my personal opinion in its shiny variants. But is it something you're going to actually want to power up as a fire type Pokemon? I'm going to tell you it's pretty good, but there's going to be other fire types that are going to outperform it. So let's go ahead and go over the top counters as well as the top fire attackers so you can have a good idea as to where Entei is going to land amongst the other fire Pokemon. Alright, so this is all going to be going down July 14th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. your local time zone. So make sure you mark your calendars and get ready for this. Because even if you don't really want Entei, you understand where it's going to land amongst the other fire attackers. It's still going to be a good opportunity to go out there and get possibly TMs and rare candies and just have a good time with your friends. So we do currently have the ×3 XP, 1 hour lucky egg, ×3 hatch XP, and ×2 XP for the raids, which is all going to be ending July 16th. So make sure you take note of that, take advantage of it, because that 1 hour lucky egg as well as that extra XP for those raids is pretty nice if you're trying to get your level up or just continue to stack up that XP. So Entei, let's go ahead and see where it's going to land amongst the fire attackers and then go ahead and go over those counters. Alright, so we are over here on Pokebattler yet again to take a look at the best fire attackers to go up against a Registeel, because it is going to be a pure steel type. It's not going to be weak to, well, it's going to be weak to fighting, but we can have a good idea as to how well the fire attackers are going to be performing. So of course Moltres is coming in at that #1 spot with Fire Spin and Overheat. It's going to take 20 of those. Time to win 963 seconds. And then Entei, Fire Spin and Overheat. It's going to take 23 of those, so 3 more than the Moltres. And time to win 1037 seconds. And then Charizard followed in the 3rd spot. Fire Spin and Blast Burn. It's going to take 26 of those. Time to win 1021 seconds. And then you have Blaziken going down there at the bottom at that #5 spot with Counter and Blast Burn. And it's going to take 33 of those. Time to win 971 seconds. So it's going to take a significant amount more, but it can do it a little bit faster. So if you so happen to have a full team of Blazikens with Counter and Blast Burn, well, that's going to be good to go up against the Registeel. And then you have Machamp, of course, reigning at that top spot. So Entei is going to be outshined by Moltres, of course. And I wouldn't say significantly, but it's going to, you're better off investing in the Moltres, simple as that. If you were not around when Moltres was released, and now this is your only opportunity to get these great fire attackers, I say go ahead and invest in them. Don't make a full team, you know, power up a couple of them because they're going to be pretty good. As you can see, it is quite significantly behind the Moltres in that time to win, and it will take 3 more, but it's still going to be a good Pokemon. It's still solid. Alright, now taking a look at the top counters to go up against the Entei itself here. We have Kyogre with Waterfall and Hydro Pump, Palkia with Dragon Tail, Hydro Pump, and then Rampardos with Smackdown and Rock Slide. We're going to come back to that because there's something very significant about it. Gyarados, Waterfall, and Hydro Pump Tyranitar with Smackdown and Stone Edge for Alligator. So as you can see, the Kyogre time to win with Waterfall and Hydro Pump is going to be 611 seconds. It's going to take 16 of those. And then for the Palkia, time to win 715 seconds. Is going to take 15 of those. Now the Rampardos is a steep investment, hard to find. You're going to more than likely be putting rare candies into those, and they're glass cannons, so you're going to have to power up a few more if you want to really get that usability out of having several of them. Now if you just have a couple, that's fine. Throw them in there in the front possibly as the frontliners to do as much damage as possible with that Smackdown and Rock Slide moveset. Now take a look at the time to win for it. 570 seconds compared to Kyogre is going to be 611. Yes, it's going to take 30 Rampardos, pretty much double what it's going to take for the Kyogre and Palkia, but it is going to be doing quite a bit of damage. So if you're trying to do this with minimal people, Rampardos is going to be a fantastic option. And then if we look at the Tyranitar with Smackdown and Stone Edge, as you can see, time to win 680 seconds, so it is falling quite behind the Rampardos. And this is what we went over quite a long time ago in the past, how we're going to get newer Pokemon with better moves, or not necessarily better moves, well, kind of. Rock Slide is continuously able to go off. Say you're about to faint, and that Stone Edge is almost ready, but you get knocked out before you're able to do it. You kind of just wasted all that energy doing Smackdowns, as opposed to Rampardos which is able to get off that rock slide continuously. That's why it's so good. Not only that, but its attack is much higher than Tyranitar's. And that's pretty much it for that. We can go ahead and change up the movesets here to see what we have going on. Let's go Fire Spin and Overheat. Perfect. So then we have Rampardos coming in at that number 2 spot there. It's going to only take 27 of those. Time to win 564 seconds. Kyogre 601. Of course, Kyogre is going to keep that same moveset. It's going to take 18 of those, so almost double yet again for the Rampardos compared to the Kyogre. Not quite double, but yeah, it's going to be able to stay in the fight a lot longer, resisting those. Rampardos is going to be resisting the fire moves as well, but it's glassy, so it will be going down very fast. Tyranitar is going to be doing a little bit better because it's going to be resisting those fire moves. Let's go ahead and see if it has Iron Head, because that is where the rock types are going to get absolutely demolished, and the water types will be resisting that Iron Head. So let's go ahead and see. Kyogre is going to be able to stay in the fight a lot longer. It's going to take only 13 of those. Gyarados is going to be a safe option, really, no matter what moveset it does have. And I know a lot of people have those just lying around powered up from back in the day, or just simply have them, right? For Alligator, with that Community Day Hydro Cannon and Waterfall, is going to be doing pretty good. Palkia, which I still need to power up my 100, guys. And I'm just investing in random Pokemon for PvP, which is just whittling away my Stardust. And I'm just like, wait, what's going on? Why do I just stay at 5 million here? And that team of Roserades really put a dent into my Stardust, but it was well worth it. So we were able to duo that Groudon there. That was quite amazing. And then you have Empoleon coming in that number 5 spot with Waterfall and Hydro Pump. It's going to take 17 of those. Now, be warned about Empoleon here. Don't go and power them up just for this. We're going to have that Community Day in the future. If you have 1 Empoleon powered up, or 2 possibly, stick with that. Don't evolve anymore. Don't invest in anymore, because it's going to get that Community Day move, making it a lot better in the future. What is it going to be? Let's take a shot in the dark here, guys. Probably Hydro Cannon, right? So, yeah, it's going to be better in the future. Don't do anything with that. Vaporeon, I know people do have those as well. Water Gun and Hydro Pump. This is very elementary, guys. It's going to be a pure fire attacker, the Entei. So, just go in there with Kyogres, Gyarados for Alligators, Palkias if you have those, as well as the other ones that we did go over. But the rock types are going to be falling quite significantly far behind here, because they will be taking super effective damage and dropping like rocks, literally. So Rampardos is not looking so hot. It's going to take 45 of those if it did have Iron Head. Time to win is still great, but it's just not going to be able to stay in that fight very long, because it is so glassy while taking super effective damage. Then if we go down the list here, if you do have these, I suppose you can throw them in, but more than likely you will be raiding with a big group. But if you do not have too many people in your area, and unfortunately do not have any Kyogres powered up, well, hopefully you are able to get into that for Alligator Community Day and go in with some of those. Gyarados can be a steep investment, seeing that it takes 400 candies to power those up. I know the game has been out for some time now, but there is a lot of new trainers that have been introduced ever since then and don't have just like a full team of Gyarados. Personally, me, I have a couple, but I never really powered up a bunch of them. All right, so there you go for the counters. Looking pretty good. And Iron Head will destroy those rock types. As far as Flamethrower, it's going to be pretty much the same thing that we saw for the first lineup here. And Entei's quick moves, it does have Fire Fang and Fire Spin. You know, the difference, it did switch it up because I went back to Overheat there. All right, so there you go. So there are your top counters to go up against Entei when that raid day does come out. All right, now taking a look at Moltres here, it's going to be a flying and fire type Pokemon. Its attack is going to be 251. Let's just keep that in mind, 251 attack. Now let's go ahead and back up here and look at Entei with an attack of 235. So it is going to be a pure fire type Pokemon, therefore it's not going to be taking extra damage from rock type. So there is that. If you do PvP and decide to use it in whatever league, it is going to be weak to ground, rock, and water, resisting bug, fairy, fire, grass, ice, and steel. Now the 100% IV that you're going to be looking for here, folks, is going to be 1984. 1984 non-weather boosted. Weather boosted in sunny weather is going to be 2480. Perfect for that Ultra League if that is your thing. So keep those in mind. And we did go over those movesets here. Best moveset is going to be Fire Spin and Flamethrower. Supposedly Fire Spin and then Overheat. So here are all the moves that you have to look out for. So it's basically going to have only fire moves, but it does have that coverage to go up against those rock types, in which we already saw they're going to be dropping like rocks. So look out for that. Now, the recommendation when you go into these lobbies has been a little bit wacky, because when I did go up against Groudon, it would literally always recommend my Kyogres, even if it had Solar Beam. It was like, okay, what I don't know what moveset it has, so it's kind of a little bit confusing. You literally had to go in there, wait for it to attack, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, that's the moveset it has. Or you can go on your local Discord, if you do have those up, and see what moves they have as well. But if you aren't a part of all that, best bet is if you have minimal people and try to do some sort of challenge. I don't know if you're really trying to do that on this specific day, because you want to pump out as many of these raids as you can so you can possibly find that shiny. But otherwise, yeah, best bet is just to go in there with Kyogre, Gyarados for Alligator. Water type Pokemon are going to be great. If you're not too sure if it has Iron Head, you can just go in there with your rock types first, do as much damage as possible, and then you'll have those water types to back you up at the end. Alright trainers, so there you have it. I already have quite a bit of Enteis from the last time we were here. As you can see, they're all marked up with trade. Now I could simply transfer them, but the dates are becoming older, 2018. I know you're going to want that 2016 for that higher chance of them to become lucky, but there's a 2017. There's another one and another one. That's why I don't transfer them, because they do have that increased chance of possibly becoming lucky when you trade. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, I'd like to say thank you for watching, trainers. Good luck on finding your shiny. And remember, like we went over, if you do have Moltres, that's going to be the better investment for fire attackers. Now, if you weren't around, like we said, that Entei is still going to be solid. Maybe power up a couple, if so, if you really need pure fire attackers. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, trainers. And I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.